my brother Nene Sakiti II, Colonel of Manyakobo, and President of the Eastern Region House of Chiefs. Our founder and chair, Madame Lynette Gay, President and board members of Ensign Global College, representatives of KNUST, our mentor institution, and of University of Utah, our partner institution, alumni of Ensign Global College, graduates, distinguished invited guests, our friends from the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor for me to be invited to the 8th graduation ceremony of Ensign Global College as guest of honor and also as keynote speaker. When I had a message from our registrar, I asked myself, why me? But I want to thank the founder and chair of the board and the graduation committee for the confidence that they have in me. And I want to thank the president for his very kind words about me. Let me start by thanking our chair and our founder for his benevolence and for his benevolence and for the vision, and also for the inspiring leadership that she has provided Ensign Global College over the years. I also want to congratulate all who have supported Ensign over the years, and Ensign for all the achievements, the transformation that we've seen over the past 10 years. We've metamorphosed from a college of public health to a global college, consistent with our vision to make our impact not only in the health sector, but across various sectors, and not only in Ghana, but globally. We have seen so much transformation on campus, the emergence of new structures, very beautiful ones, of course, and all of that, and a brilliant group of students, present and past, all give us a promising outlook. I want to commend the benevolence again of and the vision of our founder. I want to thank our mentors, KNUST, our partner institution, University of Utah, the entire board, the president, management, and staff of this great institution, and of course the students, past and present. To our graduates, congratulations. You have gone through a very rigorous program that has prepared you to make your mark in the world. To those who are receiving awards, special congratulations. It is my expectation that you all go out there and true to Ensign College vision, be leaders, be professionals, and be true innovators who make impacts on our world. Madam Chair, The purpose of university education is to liberate our minds, develop in us the curiosity that's necessary for inspiring leadership, make us critical thinkers and critical minded decision makers, make us agents of change, not smart conformists and not custodians of the status quo. It is my hope that indeed our graduates are well equipped with all the values that are necessary for them to go out there and inspire change and help achieve the Ensign vision. Our graduates, you are graduating at a very difficult time in the world. A period of phenomenal changes and happenings. At the global level, as we've heard, we are still emerging from COVID and its effects. While COVID was at its highest, the northern part of our country and other parts of Africa were under the meningitis epidemic. We are currently in the midst of two very important wars in Ukraine and in Gaza. We also are battling the effects of climate change across the world. We've seen rising temperatures producing floods in many parts of the world, not only in Ghana. These are all threats to our existence. But luckily, we've seen responses from many sectors, in particular technology. We've seen a lot of investment in artificial intelligence aimed at making life easier for all of us. We've seen the emergence of various payment systems, and we've seen a lot of innovation in the energy sector and also in the usage of energy. We've seen innovation in transportation, and also we've seen a lot of countries and companies building alliances towards making the world a better place. In the healthcare sector, we have seen all kinds of efforts aimed at enhancing availability of healthcare and, of course, its accessibility to the majority of people. We've also seen efforts to increase efficacy and cost of healthcare delivery, and efforts to make access to healthcare very convenient. In Ghana, we are witnessing a difficult time in our economy. We've seen instability in the markets, financial markets, the exchange markets, and of course, we've seen a slowing down of our growth as a country. We have seen increase in poverty and many of its consequences, including the exodus of a lot of our professionals, most notably professionals in the health sector pursuing greener pastures abroad. We see similar occurrences across Africa. Sadly, notwithstanding the fact that we are so well endowed, 20% of the world's landmass, 60% of all arable but uncultivated land, 17% of the world's population, 30% of all known mineral reserves, yet commanding less than 3% of global trade, less than 3% of global GDP. This is the world that you are entering into. It has implications for you and for all of us, indeed. It has implications for the choices that you make. Some of you would aspire to continue your education at higher levels. Others among you may want to look for employment immediately. Yet some of you would want to pursue your own businesses. And I can imagine many of you pursuing combinations of these three: jobs, business, and further education. Whatever your choices are, again, I want to emphasize that you are entering the workplace, you are entering business, or you are continuing education at a time of change across the world. But the good news, my friends, is the fact that change and uncertainty bring a lot of opportunity. The happenings that I've talked about and the responses that I've spoken about all present to you opportunities that you should be prepared to take advantage of. We have seen the emergence of Africa Continental Free Area Secretariat in Ghana. Recognize the fact that Africans must come together, create a bigger market for our prosperity. It's an opportunity for all of you. We've seen the impact of globalization, increase in trade among African countries and the rest of the world. These are all happenings that create opportunities for you. You have a responsibility to yourselves, to your families, to your communities, to our country and our continent, to take advantage of all of this, to better your own lives and create prosperity across the world. The good news is that your education at Ensign has well prepared you, armed with an enhanced capacity for critical thought, and therefore the preparation to be the leaders that we expect, the professionals that we expect, the innovators that we expect, and the inspirers that we expect you to be. Whichever option that you pursue, whether further education, employment, or your own business, you need to set clear objectives, and those must be driven by your passion and your desire to make a difference wherever you are. It is obvious that many of you will be seeking employment, and a few of you will be wanting to set up your own businesses, maybe with a small number of you aspiring to set up your own businesses. But let me encourage you to pursue more the latter, because your abilities that you probably are not aware of. The education that you've received here has prepared you to be entrepreneurs, to be innovators, and to join the make happen units of our society. And you must take advantage of all these principles and values I've acquired over your time here. No matter which course you pursue, there are certain principles that must guide you and that you must hold on tightly to if you have to succeed. Those are principles that have guided me through my journey from here, through Yale. Those inspired me to come back to Ghana without having worked 1 year abroad, without having worked 1 day abroad. And those have inspired me up to this time. If I'm able to do it without any entrepreneurial background, I believe you also can do it. Whether you pursue further education, employment, or private business, the starting point is that you must have objectives and you must have ambition. you must desire to be the best in whatever you do. If you aim to be the best, you would end up being, at worst, among the best. So I encourage you to set goals very deliberately, very consciously, and those objectives better be very, very ambitious, consistent with Ensign principles. But let's remember that ambitions alone do not create results. Those must be backed with hard work. You must work very hard. The world you are entering into is a very competitive one. And all things being equal, those who invest a lot of time and energy are the ones who would make it. It requires sacrifices. It requires that you sacrifice even some of your sleep. Sacrifice a bit of your sleep. Poverty is manufactured in bed. You cannot sleep as though you are competing with the dead and expect to make it in the world of the living. When we were in secondary school many years ago, we inspired ourselves in a similar way by saying that there is more life, there is more sleep after death. So, my friends, it's very important that you work very hard, sacrifice some of the pleasures, the outings, sacrifice some of your sleep, and so you can make the impact that we expect you to make. Hard work, they say, does not kill. And indeed, the harder you work, the luckier you will be. If a bundle of city notes were to fall on a path, the one more likely to find it is the one who walks that path most frequently. I'm not saying that you find it, you keep it, you find the owner. But the truth of the matter is that the harder you work, the luckier you become. So let's all work very hard. Hard work will expose to you the opportunities of this world, the needs of this world, so you can exploit those. But to be able to work very hard, my friends, you have to have absolute commitment to your objectives, backed by determination, passion, and loyalty to your organization, whether it's your own or somebody else. If you work for someone or another company, please do so with passion. Work as if the job belongs to you. Avoid the temptation of saying that the work is from my fathers. The harder you work, the more you learn. And the more you prepare yourself for your own business pursuits. But when I talk about hard work, I'm not talking only about the physical exertion. The mental is very important. God has endowed all of us with the ability to think, the power of imagination. Let's utilize all of that for our own good, for the good of our communities, and for the good of society at large. It requires continuous education, continuous learning. Again, by that, I'm not talking about going back to school again. The mobile phones in your hands are a huge store of knowledge, of information. You have to use those phones properly. Recently, when there was a flooding in Southern Volta, I did a lot of reflection on my own, wondering whether the floods could have been avoided. I wonder whether I could have measured the flow of water into the Volta Lake and the flow out of it. Whether I could measure the impact of those inflows and outflows on the level of the water. I told myself it must be possible. And possible to even measure the volume of water in the Volta Lake. Out of curiosity, I decided to find out the volume of water in the ocean. I took my phone and I Googled volume, water, oceans, and bingo. I've learned that volume of water in the oceans total 1.335 billion cubic kilometers. So you see, the mobile phone in your hand has a wealth of information you can always continue to learn. Continuous learning, continuous education enhances your knowledge base, your understanding of issues, your imagination, the difference that we expect you to make in your communities. And I believe that you continue to enhance the image of Ensign. I want to congratulate all of you again for your achievements at Ensign. And I want to welcome all of you to what I call the community of critical thinkers. Let us be the agents of change that Ensign expects us to be. The agents of change that our nation so critically needs. Let us not be smart conformists. Let us not be custodians of the status quo. Everywhere we go, we ask ourselves, what difference can we make? What new products can we introduce? What new service can we introduce? What can we help to do better? I want to thank all of you for your attention. I want to thank Ensign College, the board, management, and the planning committee